World Rugby now admits they need Dr. Rassie Erasmus. And in this episode, you are going to get a front row seat to this stunning reversal. As we all know, rugby's world governing body have not always warmed to Rassie. In 2021, Doc released a video criticising the performance of a referee. World Rugby promptly banned Erasmus for a year. Now, to be clear, that is in line with their own laws and regulations. Ironically, though, when Joe Schmidt criticised the referee during the recent Australia, British and Irish Lions series, the best we could get out of World Rugby was their CEO coming out and saying he was disappointed with the comments. Well, their CEO, Alan Gilpin, is again commenting, this time on Rassie Erasmus. And it's actually positive, believe it or not. So I came across this interview Gilpin gave to Planet Rugby, and this is what he said. My personal view is we need to embrace what Erasmus brings to rugby. I've spent time one-on-one with Rassie. We've banned him twice in my tenure. Now, just in case you were unsure, the second time Doc was banned came in 2022 when he posted videos on social media that World Rugby were not too fond of. But it's encouraging, at least, that he admits they need our head coach. In other words, Rassie is good for this sport. Gilpin had more to say. Rassie can be very confronting because he is incredibly passionate about rugby. He is incredibly passionate about what rugby means to the South African public and his responsibility as he sees it in that regard. So that's challenging and confronting. A bit non-rugby like sometimes. But the guy is a brilliant innovator. What a brilliant thinker of the game he is. You want innovators, don't you? I'll repeat, this is a clear indication that World Rugby secretly love Rassie and want him around. It's just that this is the first time we've ever had any kind of indication that they feel this way. I know we often talk here about how they hate us and try to stifle us with their stupid law changes, but on this occasion, I can have no complaints. And to be clear, Doc has always been an innovator. Remember the so-called traffic light system he used at the last Rugby World Cup? Certain people had their noses out of joint about that. But in South Africa, we saw him doing that 20 years ago already when he was in charge of the Cheetahs. The thinking is that those color-coded messages are easier and quicker to get instructions to the players on the field. I've even had Werner Swanepoel on here, and he told me that even as a player, Rassie was always thinking of ways to get one over the opposition. Doc is a tactical genius. It's as simple as that. And we are privileged to have him. Other recent innovations include that cheeky kickoff against Italy in the second test to force an early scrum, and the midfield lineouts that we've seen against Italy and also Australia. Now, it's not even universally popular in South Africa. Some are saying that Rassie plays too many tricks and he needs to go back to the basics. To that end, Doc actually took the blame for our loss to the Wallabies on Saturday. In his press conference, one of the first things he said was that he and his coaching staff got it wrong. And I think you have to admire that. Erasmus even shared that attack coach Tony Brown told him in the coach's box that the players were overdoing it. If you watched it, you'll likely agree that at times it felt like the Springboks were playing touch rugby. Nevertheless, I still believe Rassie Erasmus is a national treasure. If you include his time as director of rugby with Jacques Nienaber as head coach, Doc has overseen 24 wins in our last 28 test matches. I think when you look at it like that, then you really have to ask, what is the problem? Of course, if we lose again to the Wallabies this week in Cape Town, people are going to be very angry. That's the nature of the South African rugby fan, I think. We are very passionate about our teams. And to be fair, Doc matches that passion for the Springboks. Just one other thing about Rassie dividing opinion. Gilpin did have one other thing to say regarding Rassie's past indiscretions and working together in the future. We would always say to Rassie and any other coach, you, like any passionate, invested, high-performing coach in sport, are incredibly frustrated when you think match officiating or other things have had an impact on your team's ability to win. But you've got to work with us on that. Help us make that system better, rather than criticizing match officials in a way that we know when coaches or administrators or players criticize match officials gives the online haters permission to pile in. Please don't do that. Please work with us. I think Rassie's heard that. We've had good conversations about that with him and with other coaches, to be fair. And he's responded positively to that over time. Does that all make life for what we do easy? No. But you need those innovators. Rugby needs innovators. I think that's the confirmation we wanted, guys. Rugby needs innovators. World Rugby knows that. Dr. Rassie Erasmus is an innovator. World Rugby knows that too. They know they need him. And now they've admitted as much. And I just love it. But what do you think? Do you agree we have a once-in-a-generation coach in Rassie Erasmus who has allowed us to dream again after the depths of 2016 and 2017? Or do you think he takes it too far, too often, and World Rugby are right to caution him from time to time? Let me know in the comment section down below, and while you're down there, why not help me out with a super thanks? That's the heart button with the $ inside of it. You'll be able to make a highlighted comment. I'll hit the love button on your comment, and I also promise to reply too. You'll also have the opportunity to make a small donation to my channel. It's whatever you want it to be. It can be 10 Rand or 10,000 Rand. The reason I'm asking for your help is because I would love to do this full time. I would also love to go to Australia in 2027 and cover the Rugby World Cup for you from down under with daily coverage. But I'll need your help to make it happen. Whatever you are willing to contribute, I'll be very, very grateful. And if you used to work at Eskom and you got a lack of bonus when you left, then I'm counting on you to do the right thing. If you're not yet ready to support me in that manner, you can also just spear tackle the like button, and you can also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And on the topic of the Springboks' embarrassing defeat to Australia at Ellis Park, you can go check out my full-time review over here. And if you've already seen it, may I recommend this exclusive interview with Werner Swanepoel. I mentioned him earlier, and that story he shared about Rassie. Well, he shares a ton of other gems too. That video is over here, and I'll see you next time.